Do you light up the room when you walk in? Are you a super happy person and like you're full of energy? Hi everyone, Christina here. So I wanted to talk about the next step today about building your private practice and your brand. So previously we were talking about niching and how you have to have a focused brand in place to be sustainable and to be noticed in the market. So now I'm going to share the next step with you. And the next step here is building the blueprint to your brand, which is your foundation that your brand's going to stand on once you start planning out the elements behind the brand that is going to create this solid ground. So what is a brand blueprint? I know that many people have asked me, what is it, So a brand blueprint is basically just a plan of action behind what your brand is all about. And that's tapping into, your purpose, your vision behind the brand, your mission, your values, your positioning, your brand persona or personality, and your brand story. These 7 elements define what your foundation is. And with all of that in place, it's going to make your brand really strong. It's going to have very powerful framework that when it comes to designing, it's going to be so easy to know exactly what you want to use within your brand that makes sense and that emotionally connects to your people. Some people, when they are designing their brands, they jump right to design because they think that a brand is just a logo. It's not just a logo. There's so much more to the brand that meets the eye because everything in a brand blueprint is something that you can't see. It's not tangible right now, at least. You are creating basically what is going to be the goals behind the brand. So this is kind of what you have in your head that we are trying to put on paper as a plan so that you have intentions when you're, setting goals. You have intentions when picking colors. So that's why I always encourage any time in my design process that I tell my clients that we are going to start with your brand blueprint first before we jump on to any kind of design work, because it makes sense. It makes things so clear, and you guys would feel just a lot of clarity when you go through the brand blueprint. And it is hard because you do have to ask yourself a lot of questions and reflect on yourself. Why are you doing this for your brand? You're not here just to make money. You're here because you want to make a difference. You're here because you want to make a change in the world. You see this huge gap in the market, and you know how to fill that gap and how to make that a little bit better in the market, because maybe you're seeing something that the market doesn't see, and maybe you can bring that to the table on your own. Brand blueprint also talks about your positioning. So part of the blueprint, you do tap into brand positioning, and that part talks about, who is your ideal customer, and what is your position in the market via your niche, and what the focus is there. So that's why having the time set aside to go through these 7 brand elements is so key, because you'll see that communication is going to be so easy after. You know exactly how you have to talk. You know exactly who you're trying to attract. And that helps, designers like me, where, you come to me for a website design, or you come to me for illustrations. But, as a designer, if I don't know who your ideal customer is, it's going to be very, very hard to try and, I attract the person that you want me to talk to, because sometimes, we love beautiful designs. We love beautiful illustrations. I love like doing all of that amazing stuff. But if I don't know who I am reaching to, it's so hard to create design works when there's nothing that I can look at. That's why I say to you guys, take time to go through each of the elements in the brand so that you are ready to go when it comes to taking your brand blueprint and giving it to a designer to execute vision. Now, getting clear on your personality as well. So we talk about, us running a brand, and people don't connect with brands. They connect with the person behind the brand, which is you. So, you have to understand yourself. You have to understand, what are you like as a person? Do you light up the room when you walk in? Are you a super happy person and like you're full of energy? Or are you very toned back in monotone voice? Or you're very soft with your talking and you're very softly spoken? There's a lot of different ways to communicate, right? Then there's a lot of different personalities. So you need to kind of take time to look back at yourself and see, what kind of personality do you embody and how can you bring that into the brand as well? Because within the 7 brand elements, one of the 7 brand elements is brand personality. And the brand personality taps into, the type of culture you're going to create within your brand, the voice that you are trying to embody for the brand. How do you sound? And the impact that you bring within your brand. And how you look, that's also another aspect within the elements. And there's one more, the feeling that you bring, that's super important. So these are all called brand attributes. So you have to get clear on your brand attributes. When you're able to do that, you have a word library that you can pull from to create visuals, right? These are your keywords that you're going to pull from to create those visuals, right? And you want to keep that all consistent so that people understand, oh, okay, like your culture is very casual. We're not in like dressy suit and ties or anything like that, We have, a little bit more of a comforting environment, something that is, just very down to earth. We're not trying to be, fashionistas here, If you're feeling right now that there's not many people following you or subscribing to you or jumping on your mailing list or even talking to you, the reason could be that you don't have your brand foundation in place, aka your blueprint. So when I talk about a blueprint, again, it's your plan. What is your purpose? Why do you exist? Why are you here? What are you set out to do? When you have your vision in place and people see your intentions, what you are trying to do, the change, the movement that you're bringing to the world, people are going to be so attracted to that. They're going to say, wow, like I want to be a part of this. I think it's an amazing idea and, I want to help this person. So this is where you get the follows, you get people taking action on, your social media, or, someone's taking action to join your group or join your community. So that's why I really encourage all of you to take time to build that blueprint, because it's going to attract people. You will see how magnetic you're going to be when you have all of the 7 brand elements down. The blueprint itself, because you set a vision for yourself, which is probably the hardest one to really knock out of the park. But when you have that in place, and then all the other elements that are going to tie to it, you're going to see how much your brand will last, because the blueprint gives you that longevity. You know that you're going to be sustainable after this. You have a plan in action because you have a long-term goal set, which is your vision, and you have a short-term goal set, which is your mission and positioning right now in this current time. So this is why you really have to take time in this area. If you want to be sustainable, if you want to continue to, grow the brand, you want to attract people, right? So having this in place, the blueprint, is going to be golden for you. You'll see this brand blueprint in place. You're going to feel so confident. And when you're confident, people are also going to be attracted to you, because they see that you're taking action. You are not afraid, and that you are being bold. You are being courageous. You are taking a risky step to probably changing something that is going to be very difficult in the world. So when you have a very solid brand behind you, you feel so confident in yourself, because you know exactly what you're talking about. You don't have to second guess yourself, because having the brand blueprint, you know that you have to be at such and such a place in front of these such and such of people, because your plan says that. So that's what I mean, guys. You really have to take time to really build that foundation, because again, your brand is like a house. You have to build the foundation first before you start decorating the house, right? Because if you start decorating the house and there's no foundation in place, what's the house gonna do? Cheep. And that's not gonna do any good for you. So you want to make sure that your home that you built around you is going to be protecting, supportive, strong, and everything has intention. Nothing is out of place, and then the house looks complete, and every decoration that you have in the house itself will have a story to it, and that will increase its value. So I hope that was helpful today. That was a little bit of a long explanation, but I really want to encourage you all to take time to build out your blueprint. And I'm so excited to see what you guys have in store for your brands, because I think art therapy is an amazing tactic to healing and to finding yourself, your voice, digging under the skin, what is coming up for you, right? So art therapy is still fairly new, but I see it going places. We all need creativity in our lives. So if we're able to do this, on our own, we're going to be able to voice all collectively together to enforce that art therapy is healing, and it's the new way of healing our mental health. So thank you so much for tuning in today, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and you can comment below and let me know if you have any questions for me. that, you know, is coming up for you after this video. So thank you guys for tuning in, and have a wonderful day. Keep smiling. Bye.